So it feels like card games have really gotten stale over these past few years, and honestly, they have been around for a very long time. Sometimes it truly feels like there is no way to add any new features or game mechanics to really spice up the gameplay. However, Unstable Games, the creators of Unstable Unicorns, have done it once again by creating a new game called Here to Slay that adds a ton of refreshing new game mechanics that really enhance gameplay. So for this video, we will be going over how to play the game, unboxing it, and of course, my initial thoughts on whether or not you should purchase the product Here to Slay, which is the latest addition to the Unstable Games arsenal. And I find that this game, unlike most traditional card games, actually plays out more like an RPG than just any ordinary card game. So I'm very excited to get this one started. So first, let's quickly go over how to play the game. Now, if you're interested in the full details, well, the actual game itself comes with a very easy to read double-sided single sheet of paper, so you're not going to be browsing through a whole deck or dictionary of rules that will of course be important to playing the game. So to begin your journey, you must pick a party leader from the deck. Each party leader comes with a unique set of skills that can really give you an edge during battle. However, you must choose wisely, as you are only allowed one party leader per game. So I would definitely pick a party leader that suits your playstyle. Maybe you want to go with something like a mage, where you get a bunch of drawing potential every time you play spells. Or maybe you want a little bit more of an aggressive player, or more of an aggressive party leader by going with something like a fighter class. So definitely choose something that you think will suit your playstyle. Once everybody has the party leader of their choice, you can begin to shuffle the cards and hand each player 5 cards each. From here, you will take 3 monster cards and face them upwards to see what monsters you and your opponents will be facing for that match. Place the remainder monster cards face down, and then from here you have the board all set and ready to go. You guys can begin to finally start taking turns. Each turn grants you 3 action points, and what action points allow you to do is, well, it allows you to take an action. Actions can be categorized by using cards, using hero effects, attacking monsters, or maybe even just completely discarding your hand completely to replace it with a new one. Obviously, depending on the severity of the action, it will cost you a certain amount of points. Obviously, if you're going to do something as big as discarding your hand completely, it will take up all 3 of your action points, while doing something small like just playing a regular card will only cost you 1 action point. So you definitely want to use your action points as wisely as possible to make the most out of the resources that you have available to you. Now, throughout the game of Here to Slay, you will encounter a few different cards that will hopefully help you turn the tides of battle. The first type are hero cards. These cards have a class and an effect. To activate the hero's effect, you need to roll the dice to get a certain number that is designated on the card to utilize the hero's unique effect. If you don't get the dice rolled, then sadly you do not get to use your hero card. If you do, then you get a little bit of a bump that will hopefully help you in your next quest. Next, we have item cards. These cards are used to either help beef up your heroes or sabotage your foes, so you definitely want to use them in the right scenarios. Next, we have magic cards. These cards are a one-time use, which can grant you a special effect that can be applied immediately. So if you decide that you want to do a little something fancy for a turn, you definitely want to be throwing out those magic cards. Next, we have modifier cards, which are another sneaky way to really sabotage your opponents, or maybe even give yourself a leg up on your opponent. You can add a little bit of an extra juice to your next dice roll, or you can subtract from your opponents. And then finally, my favorite thing about all of this is the challenge cards. If your opponent tries to make a specific play and you think that that play is way too good for them, and you need to stop them from making the play, then you can challenge it by throwing down a challenge card. Both players will roll the dice, and whoever gets the highest number will win the challenge. Obviously, if you win, you prevent that turn. However, if they win, then they can proceed as normal. And finally, we cannot forget about the awesome and epic monsters that you will encounter during this game. When it comes down to it, your objectives, or one of your objectives, is to slay monsters to win the game. To fight a monster, you will have to meet a couple of requirements. There will either be class requirements and hero number requirements to face a certain beast. And then on top of that too, you also have to roll a specific number to actually beat the beast. But unlike just rolling a number for a hero card and whether you get the effect or not, there are consequences applied to challenging a monster. If you do not meet the requirements for the dice roll, then you have to use or apply the negative effect that the monster has stated on it. However, if you beat the monster with the dice roll requirement, then you have officially slain your first monster in Here to Slay. So here we have the Here to Slay box. Now this box, or this game in total, did cost me $20, and there are expansion packs that you can purchase. Now the game is for 2 to 6 players for ages 10 and up, and as well the game can take anywhere between 30 to 60 minutes to play. So we're going to remove the top part off really quickly. I just can't help but appreciate the actual beautiful art that is designed. It is very clean, very polished, and I absolutely love it. Plus, I just love the actual cartoon designs of the characters. Now, when you open up the box, the first thing you're going to see is you're going to see this wonderful instruction manual. And as I mentioned before, when you open everything up, it's not going to be too crazy. There's going to be, a little bit of an intimidation at first, but when you go through it, it is very, very easy. Again, double-sided and nothing too crazy. It took me literally 15 minutes to read and to go through everything. So absolutely well done by Unstable Games there to keep the game short, simple, and sweet. So from there, we're going to open up and actually get into all of the cards. Now, wonderfully, the game comes with dice. I hate it when, we have these games out here that require dice to be a part of it, and then they don't include their own. So it does come with 2, and something that I love about this dice design is it has a glossy black finish. But more importantly, as you can see on the dice here, you will notice that the 1 is actually a unicorn horn. So I absolutely love that little bit of design feature there, and you just can't help but get a little bit of a kick out of that. So next we're going to go into the monster cards as well as the hero class cards. So first, let's go over the monster cards here. I won't go through all of them, but I'll show you some of the art and then some of that design feature that we were talking about in the rule set. So right here, this is a Titan, and as you can see, beautiful art. Again, absolutely love it. And then more importantly, if you look down here, you'll notice that these two might be hard to see, but this is the roll requirement. If you don't get the roll requirement, you get a -4. You have to roll an actual 8 or plus to slay the monster. And then the requirement for actually fighting the monster, you'll see, is you need a fighter class alongside an extra hero. So definitely a wonderful thing to have, all of the design and layout so clean, so beautiful on the card itself. And I'll just go through a couple more of the monster cards so you guys can just, kind of take a look at what you want to here while the, card itself, or the camera itself, kind of focuses out a little bit. So just going through some of them. The art really is beautiful, and that's something that I, really want to emphasize. Something that you really don't see in a lot of card games, and I really just love the absolute design and detail put into a lot of these cards. So very, very nice to have that. And if you're playing with someone like me who actually enjoys the cards itself, you're going to be sitting there looking and appreciating the card design more than anything else. And then over here, we got the hero class cards. There are 6 of them in total, and then obviously you can kind of pick from whatever hero class card you want. And as we mentioned before, there are a bunch of different heroes that you can go through. There are fighters, there's the ranger, there's a thief type of class card, then you have other stuff that you can definitely roll through as well. Definitely happy about the card design, and more importantly, the different options that you can play through. So if, again, as I mentioned in the video, if you have a specific class card that you definitely want to go through, let's say you want to be more of a mage player because you love card draw, then by all means, I would recommend going with that mage class. So again, just pick a class that really suits your playstyle, and there's definitely a class that you can pick for whatever playstyle you're looking for. And then over here, after we go through the last card here, we'll put everything back. We'll just go through some of the other basic cards. We'll do heroes last. Now we're going to do some of the cards that you may encounter. Now it's just like Unstable Unicorns, you will get one of those rule cards that you can keep by your side. Very nice to have. Over here we have a challenge card. These challenge cards, again, are for if, maybe your friend is trying to make a move on you, you can always challenge them and keep yourself from being in that pickle. Or maybe you can also keep your friends from making a move that will end the game if they, decide that they're gonna go on a winning turn. For instance, that was an item card that I just showed there. And then we have a modifier card here. And then we're going to have our last but not least magic card. Now obviously those are not all of the magic cards, modifier cards. There are a bunch of different designs that you can go through, and a lot of them again have amazing artwork to follow it. And then finally we have the hero class cards. These cards are probably my favorite out of all the cards, and I think that they have a lot of wonderful game mechanics that really add to the playability of the game. So we're just going to kind of slowly scroll through some of them for you guys so you can get a better look at all the cards, and then I will try to have a nice layout at the very end to just kind of show you guys all of the different cards. So we're just kind of going through some of the fighter class cards, by the way. And then I'll shuffle through the deck and maybe show you guys a different class here as well. Let's go through a ranger class. And again, I apologize, the camera's just a little bit blurry. Had to get a new camera just to get this video recorded. But as you can see, the artwork, again, is just absolutely phenomenal and something you really do have to appreciate. So we will do one more class just to show you all. And let's go with the mage class, because I absolutely love mages. So we'll do the mage class. A couple of cards here. And again, each of these cards have their unique little bonuses that if you roll the dice to try to acquire the actual bonuses, you can use them. But again, it comes at a cost. If you do not get the roll, then you do not get to activate the card itself. So there you go. Those are the cards, or when you actually unbox, these are everything that will come with the game set. So there's a lot of wonderful cards to look through, and of course you get dice and instructions, so all very, very wonderful stuff. So finally, I'm just laying out all the cards again so that you guys get a better feel of all the cards that you're going to be getting when you unbox this game for yourself. So one of the big things that initially I thought about when I opened this game was, again, the artwork is absolutely beautiful, everything is really detailed, and more importantly, the game is extremely simple. All of the rules are basically on the cards themselves, and it makes it very easy for you to transition into the game, whether you're a new player or someone who is trying to bring in your friends to play the game with you. So there's definitely no struggle that I've had trying to look through the rule set and play the game myself. So I'm very excited about that, because the fact that a lot of times players, when it comes down to it, they just want a ready, play, and go sort of effect, where they don't have to sit there and read rules for hours on end. So very happy about the fact that this game is basically ready to go right after you unbox it. So what are my final thoughts on Here to Slay? Well, at the end of the day, I think that Unstable Games has done an amazing job at what they believe is capturing an RPG game and turning it into a card game. That is extremely unique. If you are somebody that has enjoyed Unstable Games and honestly is someone like me who just loves RPGs, then there's really no reason for you not to purchase this game. Again, for only $20, it is very, very cheap. And then on top of that too, you can actually get expansion packs if you decide that this is getting a little bit stale, you want to mix up some of the cards, the heroes, whatever it might be. There are other options to really spice up the gameplay. But at the end of the day, I really do believe that this game is one of the better card games in my collection of just overall games that I have. So with all of that being said, I really do hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Do not forget to rate, subscribe, and of course comment down below. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.